All right, welcome to the episode of Real Estate versus Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Glad to be here. Beautiful day.
Definitely is a beautiful day in Arizona and also in Oregon. That's awesome, man.
Sunny today. First time in months.
That's awesome. So before we get started and before we introduce who we have on the show today, we just want to encourage everyone to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we would love to learn what you learned from today's episode. So make sure you comment below at the end of the show because you haven't learned anything yet. So let's go ahead and get in and introduce our person today. Who do we have? Who's our guy? Well, today we have someone who's coming all the way from Detroit. So if you need anyone in Detroit, this is your guy. Selling your home for more, finding the right home for you. And he also does some one-on-one coaching, looks like, for agents. We have Mark Shaftner on the show. Welcome to Real Estate versus Technology, man.
Hey guys, happy to be here. It is not an extremely nice day here in Detroit. I'm actually looking outside at about 7 or 8 inches of snow, so I'm feeling a little jealous.
Wow, did you have a storm come through, or
what was that?
Was there a storm come through on your side, or?
Oh yeah, we had one come through. So I was out there snow blowing this morning before I got onto the podcast today. So
wow,
this is life in Michigan.
Jeez. Well, there you go. So we're real spread out here, from Oregon going down to Arizona and then in Michigan. So unfortunately, two out of, what is it? 2 out of 1 or 2 out of 3. So, two got weird weather and one is not so good. So hopefully you get some sunshine to get that melted.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. We're used to it.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, Real Estate versus Tech is all about you, your business. We want to deep dive from your beginning. So let's get into your story, Mark. So where did you start? How long have you been in the business? Where did you get started? Why did you even get into the real estate industry in the first place?
Well, I've actually been in real estate in a few different capacities for about 18 years now. It was the first thing I did right when I got out of college. I went to Central Michigan University, which is like right here, dude. Right when I graduated, there was one job that a lot of the people, I had a degree in marketing, a lot of the people that were planning to go into marketing or sales wanted to have. And there's a great builder who was actually founded here in Michigan called Pulte Homes, which you guys, I know, Norm, you're familiar with them. They build a lot of homes down in Scottsdale and Phoenix and all over Arizona. Yeah. That was the job. And the reason why I was so focused on getting that job is because it was the one job that right out of college that, a lot of people that I knew that had graduated before me got this job, and they were actually making pretty decent money. Nice. And so that was the main reason why I was so focused on it. Got out of college, got an internship with them, and got hired right after my internship, and realized very quickly a few things. One, I didn't know anything about real estate. And I didn't really know anything about sales either. So I, really focused on becoming an expert, learning about real estate, learning about sales. The great thing about Pulte is they put us through about a 7 to 8 month training program. I spent a month in the field with the construction team. I spent a month with the mortgage team, and I spent about 6 months just shadowing a mentor and learning, about construction, how we build homes, why we build them the way that we do. I learned how to tour homes and how to show homes to potential buyers. I learned a lot about sales. And after about 7 or 8 months, you knew enough to be dangerous.
Love it.
Got out, had a great career, became what was called a Pulte Top Gun, which was one of their trainers. I trained 5 people into successful sales careers at the company. Nice. And had a great time and learned a lot. And then the market crashed. In 2008.
Yep.
And it actually happened here in Michigan, it's specifically in Detroit, a little bit before it happened in a lot of other areas of the country. I went from selling about 4 or 5 homes a month to, in 2008, I sold 2 homes all year.
Wow.
So yeah, the crash hit us really hard here in Michigan. A friend of mine had started a company who had a very unique product. It was still in real estate, and we were leveraging our builder relationships to help people buy a new construction home and get out of their old home. And we rented out their old homes. We kind of did property management. There was 5 people at the company, around 5 people. And they had just moved out of his basement, out of his garage type of thing. It's a great startup story. We grew to over 100 employees. We expanded into 9 different states. We were brokering about 75 deals a month at our peak. And in 2013, we were number 99 on the Inc. 500 list.
Wow.
And had this kind of like hockey stick growth. And it was a lot of fun to be a part of that startup. But in 2015, I was kind of looking for something different. We were doing a lot of property management. We were doing some discount real estate too. Buy a home with our partner builder. We'll sell your home for very cheap. What I realized then is when you do discount, you can't do high customer service. We would save people $4,000 or $5,000 selling their house, but because we didn't respond to their emails, that outweighed the savings that they were getting. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go very high service. Wanted to focus on marketing. I knew that I saw some holes in the marketplace. Started a brokerage with a business partner of mine. And about a year after starting the brokerage, we realized that we just wanted to build a team. So we closed the brokerage, moved over to Keller Williams, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome. And speaking of marketing, I got to say, we have your site behind us, and definitely check out his site down below. The link is there. It looks amazing. I also love your backdrop. I think that's amazing. And and I was listening, actually not listening, but watching some of your stories. Congratulations on your new dishwasher. So power of social media. You can see.
Thank you. I bought this house that I'm in right here. I bought it about a little over a year ago. And it's a complete fixer-upper. And I just, at night when I'm not doing real estate, I'm out working on my house, and I just finally got a dishwasher after a year and a half. And you don't realize the little things in life that you miss until you don't have it.
I love that.
In my life.
Yep, me too. I bought a fixture as well. And I was like going through taxes. Okay, we got a dishwasher. Okay, a ceiling fan. Sorry, lighting fixtures. Yeah, right. Write it all off. I love that. So when it comes to your marketing, I watched some of you're doing a lot with YouTube videos. I see that. Social media. You have some awesome reels. I love the most recent one with the baby. So check out Mark's Instagram. You got to check out his Instagram. His most recent reel, when this was actually recorded a couple weeks back, for you now who's watching it, check out that reel with the baby. Hilarious. And then do you focus your marketing anywhere on the buy side, sell side, area specific content? What does that look like for your business?
Well, I have a few different pillars to my marketing, and I believe in short form marketing. I've had a lot of success with reels. One of the tactics I decided to do when I decided to go all in big with reels was to provide my clients with information that was coming from me. I hear things out when I'm working with buyers, when I'm working with sellers. I get questions all of the time, and they change as the market changes. So as I'm out there in the market, I'll hear something and I'll think to myself, now that I'm in this mindset, I can turn this into a reel that might be beneficial for somebody potentially buying or selling a home. That's just one pillar, but it's been very good for me to do the short form 15, 20, 30-second reels that are informational. I also try to, Neil, you're talking about, something that I did that was kind of funny too.
Yeah.
You can do some of the trends and things like that as well. And it's just a nice nudge out there to your people that are following you on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and on Facebook when you put it on your story, to remind them that, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I do like to have fun in doing it. Helping people buy and sell homes is typically for a very good reason. And I like to have fun when I'm doing it. So I inject a little bit of humor into that. So the short form stuff has been very good for me. I have a lot of realtors that follow me around the country, and I get quite a few referrals coming in from that as well. I look at reels as kind of the appetizer, and then the stuff that I do on YouTube and IGTV is kind of the main course. So if you see something that's 30 seconds long and you want to dive in a little bit deeper, learn about the market in your particular area, if you're looking at the 4 things that you need to do for when you're selling your home, you want a little bit bigger chunk, you can get 5, 6, 7 minutes over on my YouTube channel.
I love that.
And that's been very good as well. And then one of the other things that I do to differentiate myself and give myself an advantage and give my sellers something when I'm in a listing appointment is I do very high production listing videos. When I sell a home, I bring in a whole video crew. I try to tell a story and get that out there and promote it and get my sellers extra exposure when they're selling their homes.
Wow. I absolutely love that. And I never thought about that for the viewers and listeners out there. It's like the short form is just an appetizer, and then your main course is the longer form of video content. So that's actually super profound. I like that. I'm going to definitely save that in my repertoire. So I'm going to whip that out next time that comes up for me. I love that. So you kind of like for myself listening in, I can kind of already like this next question, kind of answer it for myself, what you just said. But when you are, say, for instance, working with someone who wants to work with you and selling their home, like what is that like differentiation? Like what is a thing that you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do that's going to differentiate myself from any other agent out there that you're going to work with that, that basically just like, all right, where do I sign?
Well, especially when it comes to sellers, which is what I want to attract. And it's the cinematic high production. I want, when I walk into somebody's house, just like anybody else there, they might have a friend. Most people have a friend that's a real estate agent, or they know somebody that's a real estate agent that's going to take pictures, put a sign on the yard. It's going to go out to, all of the, major third-party websites, the Zillow's, Realtors.coms. But what can you do that can actually give them, some sort of advantage, some sort of additional exposure? Yeah. So, I believe that every home tells a story, and I like to learn that story and, put it into a production and present it in a way that'll get people excited about it. And then the things I've learned with Liftoff Agent, how to promote them, how to get additional views on YouTube, on IGTV, and through Facebook, get tens of thousands of additional eyes on that particular property. When I walk into a listing appointment and I show somebody the views that I get on YouTube, on all of these channels, people are very impressed, because I don't think that they're getting that from most of the other agents if I am competing on a listing appointment.
You're the only one.
In this market, there aren't a lot.
Dude, it's so true. And like, it's becoming more of a norm, but it's spread out across the country and even the world. So, when you look at like micro pockets and you're looking at someone like in Detroit, like you're probably one, if not the only, doing really what you're doing at the level that you're doing it. And that's why you're attracting agents all across the country or the world that are referring you individuals, because they don't know anyone else in your market. Like you're it, like you're the guy. And so I absolutely love that. I think that if I was in your market and I want to sell a home, that would give me a lot of confidence, because it's definitely a differentiator that agents don't use. And it's like, oh yeah, you put on the MLS gets disseminated on all of these different sites and yada, yada, yada. But like, hey, like this is what I own. Here's my Instagram, here's my Facebook, here's my YouTube, here's my views, here's my specific way of differentiating that's going to help you get the most top five from. I love that. Well, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to give this to Dan. So Dan, go ahead and take it up for a mix-up round, and let's get into some of the tech and some of the tools and some of the things that you're doing. So have fun, Dan. Take it away.
This is my favorite topic. So Mark, why don't you just like give me a little bit of what's in your ninja belt or your tool belt, technology, CRMs, anything that you're using that can help leverage an agent in a market.
Well, Liftoff Agent.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
When I was looking at what I could do, it was I looked at a lot of different companies out there that'll remain unnamed, at least on this podcast, that could integrate what I'm doing as an agent with video and social media and things like that. How could I, where could I go that would be a one-stop shop? And Liftoff Agent has really, Norm did not pay me for this. I'm actually paying him. He hit me with an invoice this morning. And, the website, the search engine optimization, integrating everything that I do on YouTube, it automatically goes to my website. I've got my Facebook page on another screen right here. I've got 5 posts that I didn't even know happened because the team and the technology that they have on the back end makes this happen for me. It's really set it and forget it. And any agent that is out there, you need to be out in this snow selling homes, not creating your social media posts and things like that. And Liftoff Agent has just been plug and play for me. Another big thing that I use is Follow Up Boss. That's the CRM that I use. It integrates right with everything with Liftoff Agent, the email, the drip campaigns, let me take a step back. My first job at Pulte Homes, I had a CRM. I have hated CRMs since I was 22 years old. And unfortunately, that was 20 years ago.
Amen.
And Liftoff Agent is very user friendly. And it's also set it and forget it. Just things happen for me. My clients get text messages, leads get text messages. They get drip email campaigns, and it's all just automatic. I look like an absolute pro because of the technology that I have.
I love it. You said a few things that I want to touch on. This is not to plug our own company, but out in the world of IDX websites, right? There are plenty of CRMs and IDX solutions that drive leads to landing pages for buyer experience, buyer search, home valuation pages, funnels, all that type of stuff. But the missing component was always like a highly branded, positioned website that pulled in all your content and could integrate with other CRMs and work cohesively. But I always tell everybody, it's okay to have more than one website, right? And if you do have more than one website, one could be capturing leads specifically. That is its own task, right? Its funnel is for a PPC campaign that it goes to this, that plugs into your CRM, but you'll have more value and more success over the long-term marketing vision if you focus on building content. Like you said, let us focus on the social media listing automation. You focus on videos, you focus on reels, you focus on YouTube, you focus on getting people to your website by sending mail and doing other things. And that website will sell itself and have an ROI over time. But I think so many people are short-sighted that when they look at tech, especially like we interviewed with tons of people, it's all about just like lead conversion, ROI, how can I put $100 into today and get $1,000 tomorrow? And because I think your background's in marketing, you understand that you have to build a brand. That's time. The biggest difference.
Yeah, it does take time. If there is no magic banana. I think that a lot of people, it's very easy to get a real estate license. You can have a real estate license in the state of Michigan in a week. Wow. Yeah. It's a 40-hour class and it's a C- on a 100 question test, and poof, you can go do this. And, a lot of people, I think that there's a misconception that there's just a lot of easy real estate money out there. And then you get the license and it's like, the phone doesn't just ring. And I think that sometimes agents can lose sight of that it does take time. You do have to build, you do have to stick with it. If you're going to commit to something, you've got to commit to it for the long term and know that if you do the actions, the results will come over time, but not overnight.
Yeah, that's totally true.
So true.
What is one piece of tech outside of Liftoff and Follow Up Boss that you're looking to integrate into your business? And it doesn't have to just be marketing related. It could be productivity. It could be something that you use for multimedia. What is it?
I'm going big with QRcodes.
Me too right now. Yeah. I've been blasting QRcodes every day on postcards.
Yeah, I love them. When because I do so much with video, I could send somebody, an eye chart on a 8x6 postcard, that they can examine to see all the homes that are sold in the neighborhood. Or I could take 5 minutes and put together a video that talks about the homes that are sold and actually shows pictures, and it's edited and it's beautiful and it's worth watching because it's information for you. And if I give them a little QR code, the pandemic made everybody come back to those. And now everybody knows how to use them. So I do door knockers. I literally walk around my neighborhood and I door knock. And if somebody's not home, I put that door knocker on there. It's got a QR code and they scan it. And then instantly my face is in front of them and they're watching a video about their neighborhood with information that is useful to them, whether they're selling or not.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It's super huge. Last question for me really is, as we see this push and pull between technology and real estate, iBuyers, especially in your market, are you seeing the experience for buyers and sellers changing with technology, or do you see the traditional real estate agent always having a place in this market?
Traditional real estate agents will always have a place in this market. In pretty much every market, we are a resilient bunch. I don't want to say that there have been companies that have been tried to take us out of it, but I guess there kind of has been. We're still here. There is a place for iBuyer in most markets. Interestingly enough, it hasn't taken hold here very much so in Metro Detroit. But I think there's a market for it. There's always going to be 7 to 10% of the population of sellers that are going to say, you know what, I don't want to deal with showings. I don't want to deal with all of that. I will take whatever this offer is and just be done with it. They're going to be there, but there's also 90% that don't want that. And that the agent's role in this transaction is going to continuously change. It has, and it always will. We have to be on the cutting edge of technology as it's coming out. We have to be the knowledge brokers in our areas as well. And those that do are going to remain in this industry, and those that don't won't.
Fizzle out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it to Norm, but I think you brought up a good point where if there's too many questions, there's too much customer support that's needed. There's too much direct knowledge of the local area that you can't replace with a computer, right? All of us have hired somebody on a tech platform to do something for us. And then they're like, contact support, you're in chat line number 63. No one wants that with a real estate agent because it's like their biggest sale or purchase of their life. Right. But you bring up some good points. And I think ultimately, as we see this evolution, if you're making content and you're consistent with it, and you're consistent with your CRM and your follow-ups, and you're doing omnipresent marketing, which you obviously are, I think you're going to have worlds of success into the future. So
yeah, I think so too. And those that commit to it, and it's not about us. It's really about what you can provide for your clients. And if you care about people and you want to get them, the best experience, the best knowledge, so they can buy and make the best investment possible when they're buying or selling a house, then you'll commit to it, and the results will come. People will notice, you'll get referred, and people will call you.
That's right. Wow. Totally. I love that. Well, thanks, Dan, for taking on that mix-up round. And I have to say, there's a lot to unpack there in regards to, I like the fact, thanks so much, first and foremost, for the Liftoff Agent plug. That's awesome. We love Follow Boss as well. So we've done an event last year. They were a sponsor for us. So we definitely love them. We actually just gave a shout out for Real Estate First Technology on our IG, actually giving, was it Stacy a shout out? And I love what we're doing with tech. And I have to say that, like, to kind of end, a couple questions I have before we end the show and open the floor up to you, Mark, is the QR thing, bringing back the QR code, how you're doing the door knocking. And then can you elaborate a little bit for the viewers and listeners, like what happens? So you put out that door hanger for anyone out there who's doing door knocking and putting out the door hangers. I scan it. What's next?
You go directly. It depends. The great thing is about these QR codes is you can send people wherever you want. It's spectacular.
Yeah.
Most of the time what I do is, and unfortunately it's out in the other room, so I'm not going to run and grab it, but I'd love to show you. I do a little blurb about what's going on in your neighborhood, and then a QR code that says scan here to watch the full. I live in Beverly Hills, Michigan.
Yeah. I love it.
I love it. Scan here for the Beverly Hills real estate market update. And they scan it, and they're right on my YouTube page watching a monthly real estate update that I do for this city. And I do it in the four cities that I do most of my business in. And so when you scan that, you go right to my YouTube page. On the other side, it's a little, hi neighbor, my name's Mark. You know, I've been in real estate for 19 years. I live right in this neighborhood. Did you know? And then, you know, just a little pitch and a call to action. If you're thinking about buying or selling, call me, or just scan this code. When you scan the code, my phone starts to ring. It's beautiful. It automatically has them start calling me, and you can have them text message you. You can send them to a website. There's a lot of different things you can do with QR codes.
Wow. I love that. The video idea is great because I think that it gives, for the viewers and listeners out there that, you know, aren't familiar with the fact that, like, for selling, you know, people buy from someone they know, like, and trust. And so for you to have the video to build that know, like, and trust factor, you could be having dinner with your family or, you know, sleeping, and they're building that know, like, and trust factor. Then you get a call the next morning and they talk about the video that they watched. And I love always saying, hey, leverage your past efforts for your future successes. So I just wanted to harp on that for the last time for, you know, viewers and listeners out there, so they know, like, hey, this is where it's at. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the last question I have for me is, like, you know, basically a secret weapon. And we kind of already touched on this. If I was going to use you, what would be your secret weapon in regards to basically what you would tell me to make?
And it won't be secret.
I know it wouldn't be a secret weapon. So
no, I think my biggest secret weapon is actually showcasing through a listing video, not just a drone coming through the house, you know, set to some gangster rap. I go through and try to learn the story of the house, and I love to tell the story of it, and and get the additional exposure. People love stories.
Yes.
You know, storytellers, you know, they last forever. And also, homeowners will, when I create these videos, they hold on to them. They go back and they watch them. I've gotten messages from clients that are like, you know, hey, I went back and rewatched the video of the house that we sold 3 years ago, and it was just so great. That's just a great memento for us to have. So I love doing it. I love creating that for people, and as surprise, it helps sell the houses, and it's excellent exposure for me and my team.
I love that. To add value to that, for the viewers and listeners, check out the book called The Brand Story. The Brand Story ties into exactly what you're saying. And speaking of leveraging past efforts for future successes, you know, 3-year client, hey, I was watching that video. Absolutely love that, Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and change camera angle. It's on you now. What do you want to leave our viewers and listeners that they can take to their own business or apply to their own business to have more success with what they're doing?
Yeah, I would say, you know, if you're a real estate agent, care so much about your clients and less about your own numbers. A few years back, a friend of mine, I told him, you know, my goal was to sell $20 million in volume. And he said, you know, a couple of years ago, I stopped making goals based off of, you know, number targets. And I started making goals more customer service based. And when I did that, everything changed. And for me, the same thing happened. I want 85% of my business to come from repeat referral business. And guess what? It does. I want to have all 5-star reviews on Google. And guess what? I do. And that matters more to me than, you know, hitting a big number. And I think if you focus on those things, you will. And then, you know, commit to learning how to do video. Know that you have to have a TFT, a terrible first time. When you start video, it's not going to be great, and that's okay. And you'll get better and better over time.
Wow. I love that. You know, I have to say, just to kind of add to what you said, Mark, is always felt like it was so cliche when someone was like, oh, top 1%, oh, 100 million this, oh, that. Is like, okay, how many families are you helping? Okay. It's like, it takes a story out of it when you're just thinking about the numbers outside of actually thinking about the stories, you know, and I helped 50 families this year, you know, and it equated to 20 million top line, whatever. So, man, I love that. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us today for Real Estate versus Technology episode. I know we're talking about it, and then we check back in with you. Like, let's rock and roll. Let's make it happen. And here we are, man. So thank you so much for being on the show today.
It was great to be here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, likewise. Dan, thanks so much for co-hosting as always.
Great to finally meet you, Mark.
You too, Dan.
And it's just as a reminder, like, subscribe, comment below. Now, what did you learn? As it is our intention for you to take some from our episodes, apply to your business, have more massive success, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Real Estate vs. Technology, this week's brand new episode, and making it to the end, your real one. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for new episodes that come out every single week on Fridays at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you comment on this episode and you like the episode, you'll help this episode get out to more individuals. And if you want to join our Facebook group page, just click a link. It's a Facebook icon on our profile page here on our YouTube channel. Join our group page, network with individuals all across the world, and share what technology you're using to grow your business. The next link is to join our Real Estate vs. Technology brand new IG or Instagram page. If you go on any of our stories, you can see who's going to be on Real Estate vs. Technology before it actually goes live on our YouTube channel. And the last link would be if you want to be on an episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. You pick a date and a time. We'll deep dive into your story and technology you're using to share that with other individuals that view our episodes weekly to inspire, enlighten, show up, and show out for people that love to watch these type of podcasts to have more success in their own business. Thank you so much for your continued support. We appreciate it. We will see you on the next one.